So you want to get better at carp. Well, first of all, there are a few basic techniques that you can use. Things like focusing on the smallest holes first, using up your irregular pieces first, and stalling for the pieces that you need. Aside from that, I'm going to do my best to explain to you the finer points of carpentry, things that people don't often explain, and hopefully it will help you improve your carp skills. Now, one of the things you'll want to take into account in carpentry is the fact that all your situations are going to be unique, which means it's going to be harder to constantly use the same pieces in the same situations. Now, one of the things people don't often talk about is the fact that you can look at a piece, and if you look across your boards, across the holes, you'll notice that it's almost like some of the pieces want to be placed in certain places. For example, this V very much wants to be placed up here. Once that's placed there, we can use a P in that little hole there, that little bit there, and that will close that up. And that's making the hole nice and square. And the squarer a hole is, the easier it'll be to fill in the future with other pieces that you'll be getting. Now, all these holes are pretty close in size, so I'll just pick these top two ones to focus on first. Now, in the case of this W, that was to go up there. I put W's in corners all the time whenever I can, and ends, these little bits here. You want to do that as often as you can. Always fill these little bits first, otherwise you'll not get these long pieces when you need them. So I always fill those first. Now, the X is probably most people's least favorite piece, and I mean, I can understand why that is, but it's also very easy to deal with. I mean, there are so many different places you can place this, and it won't jeopardize the hole. In this case, I'm going to put it up here because right underneath, the P, close that up. As you can see, you're keeping it nice and square. It's flashing, so I'll just close that up, nice and square. As always, make sure you fill those in as soon as possible. As you can see, I put an L in there. Nice and square, and this F, nice sort of corners of holes like this that are a bit jagged, you want to put that in there. Now I'm 3 pieces away from finishing off that hole. I'm going to hold on to the F and the P because I know that one of the only other pieces I need is going to be quite rare. It's very common. Quite common. And there, nice. And putting that in the corner. Nice. It's all about keeping nice and square, I guess. There we go, there's the F we needed. Now this could be tricky, but if I just put that there, I will likely be getting the pieces I need for this any minute now. There we go, there's an F, we need to finish that off. There are of course a few ways I could have finished that off, but I just immediately went for the most common. Here, I'm just going to use this I up here, because I know that needs an F, or an N and a Y, or a couple of P's. I'm going to focus on this hole now. See, just putting the V in there, nice and square. This might be tricky because I've got 3 holes that are very close to being finished. If you're not, I might hold on to. Yeah, be a bit risky and put that L in straight away because I know the P is the most common. working out quite right. And go to P, there's the Y, there's the P. After you've had enough experience carping, you'll be able to immediately see the pieces you'll need before you hover your cursor over them. Here, this X is begging to be placed in there. This is Z. I'm going to put it along here so that, as you can see, all it needs is a P, and I've got a P. Put it right in there. Like that. This could be a problem, but I've got two spots I can put that. I'm going to put it right there. And I could put it in, I'm going to put this P in and need an F or an N. So logic states I'll go for the F because it's most common. But there's every chance that the game could simply decide that it's not going to be the case, as right there. Great example. But sometimes you just don't have much of a choice. I always tend to put N's in the corners like that just to sort of keep them nice and square. That's begging to be placed in there to keep it easier to deal with. Again, as you can see, all I need is a P, close it up, lovely and square. I'm actually going to put that in there instead. Now I'm going to hold on to this U, because you never know when an X is going to show up. So let's put that in there. Okay, it's not show up. Right. Now I've got to hope to get that F in a minute. Might very well not show up. I might as well just get that masterpiece 9 before I break the chain. And now as always, moving on to the smallest hole. See there, using those pieces in that way is something I do all the time. It's very, very useful. I've got the putty. I'll try and finish this one off perfectly. Which I can do. Well, I put the P in. But I don't use the putty anyway because, hey, why not? Okay, I'm going to focus on these top two first, because I can already see that the U is going to want to go there, and I'm going to put the L there. That way. X in there, tuck that in there, and Y there. Use this. The W's love to go into places where it's sort of jagged, like that, or that, even. Because I'm focused on this one first, I'm going to put it there. I'm going to let those flash a couple more times. I'm going to hold on to that, because I know I'll need it. Put it there. Now, I'm going to finish off that hole. I know that's going to be a bit tricky, because keys almost never show up when you need them. Or I might just be able to use that instead. Right? See, in this scenario, I'm changing up my tactics based on what I've been getting, instead of hoping to get certain pieces. Now, I'm gonna hope. There we go. Stall for the pieces, as always. And as I can finish that hole straight away, I'm going to do just that. Now, if I put this N in like this, it's going to need 2 T's, 2 L's, 2 V's, or 2 P's. And I've already got a P, so I'm going to wait until the other one shows up. There it is. Finish that off. Now right here, F's. F's are great for slotting them in these sorts of places. A reason behind placing most of the pieces in carpentry. W, jagged edges right there. As you see, I've got the pieces. Let's just finish straight away. Put that I in there to close up that hole there. Put F in there. This, I could put it there. I would end up needing two P's and either an N or a Y. I think I'm going to be creative here and put it there instead, because that way I'm going to get that finishing hole, which is slightly different. So in the end, there you go, it pays off. It pays off to not always rely on getting the P piece. As you see, look, W, perfect for that place there. I might not do that because that looks quite hideous. Two Y's, that's a great situation to be in. Easy to deal with later on. Let's take that. Now, those. Now I can put a P in there, and all I need is a second one to finish that hole off. That I'm going to hold on to this L because I can see that I might end up using it in there, or I might end up changing my tactics if I find more P's. It's all about making sure you've got backup plans and changing plans on the go. I'm going to put that P in there, and I'm going to put that there. And since I know I could save these pieces for this hole, but I'm going to use them up anyway because all of the pieces that I need for that hole are very common. Here, corners. Whenever you see a situation like this and you have a Z, always just put it there. It's just perfect for it. Put that in there. There you go. I'm going to change and focus on this hole next. As you see, there you go, like that. I might actually save that. It'll get interesting. Don't get any F's. Put that in straight away since I'm so close to finishing it and the other ones anyway. Okay, so 3 new holes to work with. Let's see. These, great for going in corners like this, or there, or there, or maybe not there, because that, put it there, like that, you'll have to use a P, or maybe 2 N's, or an F to finish closing up that little bit there. And you don't really want to have to do that. You don't really want to force yourself to rely on any sort of piece showing up. Of course, if you do, you want it to be something very common. And I'm just going to use this T to close up that gap there. And I'm going to set up, use that there. Now, to get rid of these 2 Y's, I'm going to put one up there, and then put the other one right next to it, like so. And that's going to have to go like that. I'm going to hold on to that W. I'm going to end up needing it there. I could hold on to the T, but I'm already relying on so many P's at the moment that I'm just going to not do that. Straight in. Okay, well now I'm going to change my tactic because I figure this hole's going to be a lost cause anyway, so I'm just going to plug that in there. And there's 1P. Okay. The first thing I see here is this W is irregular and it wants to fit in there. F, corner, little bit there. You just want to sort of, I suppose, through enough experience, you'll understand how the pieces interact with each other when you place them. So I can just put that there, and already I can see that's a very easy one to finish off. Right there. F wants to go here. As always, keeping the holes as square as you can. Never think that a certain piece is going to show up in time for you needing it. That's how you make mistakes and fail to get masterpieces. Now, I'm going to shift my attention to this bottom left hole and this top left hole. Close that up. Anything like this, great for Zs. Now, this is something I do all the time with Fs, Zs, and Ts. Is if I have these square holes, I'll put them in the corners like this because that way I can use an L or a Y, or even if I happen to have them, an I and a V. I've already got them, so I'm just going to put those in there. May have been a little bit hasty because I have not seen an F in a while. I'm going to hold on to that U because I know it can go in there, and I might end up getting a T instead. Equally, I could not get a T. I'm just going to hope for an F instead. Oh, there's the T. There's I can use that on that one. And there we go. Again, is not very good. I could either do that or that. I'm going to put the F in because there we go. A Y or a T and a P would save me in that situation. If you need to, you can hover the pieces over as long as you need, just to make sure you know what combinations you want to focus on. Now, I'm being a bit risque here by focusing on that one first. I'm going to use up this I as soon as possible because I've only got 2 boards to work with and the screen isn't scrolling, so that's why you want to always try and focus on the smallest holes first. Well, I'm not going to do that. There we go. These pieces, I'm going to rapidly finish off this hole. Like that. Right. Hopefully you'll start to notice a pattern with where I'm placing these pieces. Now, that only has 3 pieces left to finish off, so I'm going to finish it off because I've got them pretty much already. Right there, just finish those off. Right there is perfect for an X. And that is also perfect to finish that hole off. Goes in there. There we go. I'm always stalling if I need a piece, even if that hole isn't close to being finished. Always smallest holes first. So now I've got this. That's fine because I'm going to need a very common piece. Here we go. There's an F. There's so many different combinations to finish off that hole. That's why you want to try and end up in that situation as often as possible. It may look like I'm getting the pieces I need, but it's more a case of knowing how to work with what you've got. Yeah, I could do it like that and finish it off, or you get a P. Wait for a P. But of course, I've already got the N, so finish it off. I'm going to finish off. We'll close up all these annoying little sort of parts of the holes that look quite specific. Use that W on there. V, that's good, nice and square. I'm going to focus on these two bottom ones now that they're nice and squared up. I'm going to hold on to this F for this hole here, but actually I can. Use that there to finish off that hole. There, or Z, right there. See? Begging to be placed in there. I might actually be, yeah, I'll do that. Now this is a little bit of an interesting situation. So let's see, because I'm going to need basically a P, which I haven't seen any for a while. So I'm going to have to be quite hopeful that they're going to start showing up. That I can do as the first of many that I need. Now that is not looking great. No, that's fine, I can just do that. In this situation, I think I'm going to just put the Y in there and finish it off straight away. Otherwise, if I prolong it any further, it's going to jeopardize the other boards. There. For now, just I wouldn't say ignore these holes, but sort of temporarily focus on the other ones. Fine. I'm actually going to focus on this one since this one is so much closer to being finished. P, please. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now this one here, I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to semi-focus on it. I know that I need an L, and those are not going to show up when you always need them. So I'm just going to wait a bit until I have more pieces. And okay, fortunate. Got an I instead. That's fine. I can just finish it off like that instead. Now these are coming out. This is a bit of a problem. Nope. I was trying to place it the other way, but I couldn't. Now, if it would so kindly just give me. Yep. Let's let's get rid of this X before it becomes even more of a problem. Now, I'm going to have to hold on to that, the U and the L. You're stalling for pieces. It doesn't have to be near the end of completing the hole. You can do it at any point if you need a particular piece. So there, I've got those pieces. I'm waiting for this. There you go. It may look like, again, I'm getting all the pieces I need. But like I said before, it's about working with what you've got and not simply hoping to get what you need. I hear so many people saying stuff like that, and I find that it's not usually the case, because they're not using the pieces in the right way. Set up. Always using T's in these situations. I'm going to use this Y down here, but after this showed up, I'm going to use that instead. Like I said before, changing plans all the time whenever it necessitates it. Just using L's, like corners like that, where they will just fit in perfectly. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put the P in that way. I'm going to hold on to that instead. Hold on to the L instead, I mean. Okay, now if I put the P in there, get another P, I have another one of those holes, and then that's very easy to finish off. That happens. There's the P. There we go. I'm going to place that there. I can already see. Let's see if I'm going to need too many P's at this point. Okay, now V. You can put it there, there, or there. I'm going to put it there because there are so many pieces that you can find that will fill that gap. And the T up there. Actually, because I need so many P's, I'm going to actually use that in there. Now, that there. I'm going to have to put that probably there. Not great. I mean, I could put it up there. That's what I'm going to do. Close that up. Close that up. Now I've already got pieces, and I know that I can use those to finish that hole off, so I just did. And now I'm going to use the W up here, because I know that I can then put the L right on top of it. And that, I can see that once the P goes in, that's going to be an easy one to sort out as well. Finish that off. Okay, I'm going to focus my attention on this one now, because that's the smallest. It's going to need a more particular set of pieces to fill in. Let's just sort that out. Do that. Very... Okay, so luckily, I suppose in this situation it was a bit of luck. The L that I was waiting for it showed up. And there's the other P. And I'm going to hold on to this F. I need a lot of P's. I could hold on to the N, but it's going to need a W, so I'm just going to ignore that and move on. Use that up. Okay, now I'm trying to get some more peas to show up before I proceed. But here, yeah, this is, yeah, dive deeper into it, shall we? So many peas. Awful. Absolutely awful. Close that up. Fine, I got further than I thought I would with that situation. As you can see, X's can be put in all of these situations. They're so easy to deal with. At the same time, I'm not going to use that down there because, frankly, I don't think I'll be seeing any more peas for a long time. Okay. Now, focus on this since a Y is probably the best thing to use in there. Okay, let's get rid of that. One more new hole. Might actually end up using it there because, or not, I'll just wait that to show up. Again, that's going to be particular. Finish that off straight away. This is probably going to be boot. Yeah, things you want to focus on are smallest holes first, regular pieces whenever you can, get rid of those. I mean, it's not really getting rid of them if you can put them in your holes in such a way that it helps complete them, like this. Not really getting rid of them, is it? I'm just always square, always looking for these bits to put an X in. Now I can finish off this hole. And I already know through interacting these pieces together, put that there, and then the N, and then that F there. If I move these around like that, and finish that hole off straight away. I suppose learning through experience how the pieces can interact with each other and learning how to visualize what you need before putting placing, like hovering over the hole, are all helpful sort of techniques to know. I can see, yep, see, just always keeping them square, always making sure that you don't too many common pieces. Let's finish that one off. I mean, in this situation, I'm going to put that one in first because if a V shows up, I can simply just rotate it and then do that because you want to, if you can, always save the P's. This is going to be a test. Test me. Too bad, I win. I'm going to put that there. I'll need some P's, but that's fine because it'll start showing up again. I'm waiting for others to show up. No, just put that straight in. Yeah, that's fine because the T can go in there. Already waiting for the P, so put that straight in. There's the P. Another one. Go straight in there. T in first. F there, and that's what I need. I can see that by putting the L in there, I would need a P because if you ignore the rest of the hole, and you just imagine that bit there, you can sort of see it as the two-piece finishing hole you end up with throughout your sessions. Yeah, I'm going to put it there. Like that. Now I'm going to need a couple of long pieces here, so I'm just going to temporarily shift my focus to the other ones while I'm waiting. If I do that, I'm going to need a couple of Ys. I'll put them straight away because I can place the other pieces. There we go. I'm already thinking about using the Y here. I put the F right next to it, which I will because there's likely to be a P right there. That off. Okay, let's look for somewhere jagged to put this. I'm going to put it there, or there, there, but I wouldn't put it there because it's so close to this sort of this gap here. You don't want to risk it having messed up your ability to finish off that hole. So I'm just going to put it there. And I'll put the P there to make that lovely and square. Always putting them in the same sorts of scenarios, like the V right there. That sort of little bit there is going to be well, it could be tricky to deal with, but because we're focusing on these holes already, I'll probably get the pieces I need to finish that off anyway. That little, because you need whenever you see a bit that's going to need five length piece to finish off, that's not good. There are only a few ways in which you can finish it off, and they all require quite uncommon pieces. You want to avoid that as much as possible, but I did it because the board is far from completion, so by the time we actually get to that point, we'll already have those pieces. There. See, look, there's the eye that we need, so take care of that immediately. Alright, I'm going to have to just do that. Okay, already see where to put the X right there. These F's, just put it straight in here. This. So now I've got two W's, so luckily I can actually find a way to use them up there. And hey presto, there's the Y we've been waiting for. So I'm just going to hold off a bit longer. Use that. And that. Use this off immediately. I'm going to hold off and wait for more pieces to show up like that. Okay, wow, it's very generous actually. As you can see, we didn't need a Y in here, so as soon as we get the Y, just place it straight in. In this scenario, the best way to sort out this two-piece gap is with an L. Otherwise, any other way you do it, it's going to require it's going to make the hole that little bit harder to finish off once you get to it. So I'm going to use the L there, sort that one out, and use that there. Right now I'm going to focus on these bottom holes here. There. And now that we've got the two P's, just use them straight away. Use the X there. Okay, T always takes up these sorts of spots, and because I've got a V, I can just put that right next to it, and the T next to that again, and the N, I can put it there. And I could finish those finish that off right now, but because the hole was shaking, I decided not to. Just wait for the rest of them to show up. I'm going to actually put that there. We've got that, and take care of that immediately. Any part of the hole that you think might be a problem in the future, if it requires any sort of specific pieces to fill in, we'll make sure to get rid of those, fill those in first. Here, I'm going to put that there. I could put it there and it'd be slightly better, but the W, I put the F there, I can put the W right next to it and take care of that irregular piece. Now this, I'm going to finish this off first, even though I probably shouldn't. Okay, this will be interesting. Now, I'm going to see how far we can get with this. There you go, masterpiece 17. A little bit of thinking going on at the end there. Okay, one more session. Let's do one more session. Okay, top right hole. Focus on that one first. As soon as you get an irregular piece like an X or a W or anything that might be hard to deal with later on, use them first whilst you've got these boards. The huge amount of space you can deal with them. Now, there's nowhere really great to put this, so I'm going to put it there. Now, I'm going to hold off and wait for the second P. There it is. If I didn't have the putty, I would have held on to the Y. Yes, I got an F, because it's so common that you might end up getting that instead. Again, I guess I'll wait for the F. Okay. Like I said before, F's into these corners, because as you see right there, I immediately get the one that I need to close up that gap. Just keep it nice and square. Use that up. Eyes, you want to put it in places like that. There you go. Okay, I'm going to focus on this bottom left first. If I can, rearrange that to put that in there. Put that there, but that's actually quite ugly, so let's not do that. Instead, let's put it. Actually, I'm going to use that there. Oops. Instead, let's mess that up completely. Okay, that's fine. I can put that there and put that in there. Put that in there. I kind of messed that up. I meant to hold off with the T. Unfortunately, use up the putty before before I meant to. See, always nice little corners like that. Perfect for the Zeds. Okay, where can we put this guy? You know what? I'm just going to put him up here because it's easier. Right. Okay, this is... I'll just wait for an F. Oh, gee, there's the F. Thanks. And... won't be a problem. Okay, I'm going to focus on this bottom right and top right first. At the moment, a bit of a sticky situation here, so just sort it out immediately, like that. And it wasn't through sheer luck that I guessed how to finish that wall off. I could see before, you know, what it was going to require. Here as well, I can already see like that. We're putting W's in places where it'll sort of, there's one bit to stick out for it to sit onto. Right there. That for a bit. Probably should finish that one off first. Nice and square. Square. Quickly before that one. Now, I'm going to do that and hope. Oh boy, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Well, that sucks. Use that there. Well, let's hope for the other P. Just out of reach. So let's fix this one. Fill it in. And in the corner. P there. Always quickly focusing your attention on most holes. Every time you get a new screen. Always try and sort of take into consideration the different piece combinations that you'll need for the holes, because that way you will, like me, you'll be able to sometimes change plans of what you're doing at the time. It will increase the likelihood of you finishing off a hole perfectly. Right now I can see the W, the L, the P, they can all finish that hole off together, so I'm just going to place them in. I know that the pieces I get underneath, I'll be able to use on this hole here. So if I was saving anything for that hole, I know that I can just easily take care of that one. Like that. Which I probably should have. Okay, I can put that there. Always goes first. And there we go. Yeah, that's my explanation of what you want to do to be able to carp consistently and successfully. Make sure that you keep your holes as square as possible. Always maintain focus on the smallest holes. Sometimes you'll be in situations where that's not the case, and sometimes you just have to just deal with it. So yeah, If you have any questions, you can always ask me in game. And thanks for watching.